The Optimum Performance Zone. What's up, guys? Marty here, and welcome to another edition of It's All Marty's Fault. So, I want to tell you guys a story about back in 2014. I had lost a ton of weight. I was in my last year as a school teacher. I was teaching band, I was teaching science, and I had gotten on a kick of watching the UFC again after watching the Ultimate Fighter. It was Chael Sonnen and John Jones, and I was a huge Chael Sonnen fan, still am. And he kept, mentioning his coach was Mike Dolce. I'd been following that for a long time, and this dude was getting not all, but a large portion of these MMA fighters on weight and in the best shape of their life. And so I started following his plan. I started doing the UFC Fit program, started using the Living Lean program, and that was very sustainable weight loss for me. And I very quickly, from February till December of that year, went all the way from around 230 to 235 pounds all the way down to 135 pounds. And it was one of those things where the weight began to fall off like magic as I was doing this. But in particular, his weight cut program. So I remember watching the fighters as they would step on the scale 24 hours before competition and be like, man, I wish I could be like those guys. Those guys are freaking ripped. It's like, how do you get like that? What do you do to do that? Because I lost a ton of weight, but I still had like some excess skin. I hadn't quite toned up so much, although I was looking a lot better at this point. And so I started the weight cut program, which is 3 weeks of shredded. And about 7, 8, 9 days into it, I started to realize that I was slightly hungry, like all the time, just a little bit, not much, but the weight continued to trend down, and I was in the middle of a workout in the UFC Fit program that used to like destroy me. It was the Plyo Shred program, a bunch of jumping around, and I realized that I was having like the best performance I had ever had as far as the ability to do the moves. My cardio, the gas tank, the way I felt before, during, and after was at an all-time high. And I was like, that's weird. It's like I'm slightly hungry, like just a little bit, and I'm performing better than I ever had. So at that time, being slightly hungry, I was able to, at that point, go down from about 140 pounds is where I was hanging out at the time, all the way down to 125. And then, I graduated high school at 150. That's my optimum weight, probably more like 155 now. And recently I've been hanging out at 160, and whenever I competed in MMA, I fought in the 135 pound weight class. So I would cut anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds to make that using the program. But I realized along the way, slightly hungry is the optimum performance zone for everything. It's the optimum performance zone. It doesn't matter if it's your health. It doesn't matter if it's your life or your business. If you're slightly hungry, you're going to be in the optimum performance zone. But of course, like there's one side of the coin where people overdo it. They overeat. They overindulge on the sweet and the salty and all these other things. But it's the same way in life and business. People will overindulge in different things, and on the flip side of the coin, once somebody sort of comes to the spot to where I've been overindulging, I have to sacrifice everything, and then they'll go into starvation mode and way overdo it. And I remember a time where I did that too. It was back in college, and my roommate and I, John, we were trying to do a weight cut our way, which was basically liquids for a couple of weeks straight. And I remember at the end of it, we went to a sandwich shop and ate and immediately began crying, and our stomachs hated us after a while too. But for right now, I'm doing 3 weeks of shredded again, and my goal is to get to 145 pounds. I started at 165. I got a little bit heavy. And plus it's just time to make that trim down, because hey, even though we're indoors right now, summertime still approaches. In fact, it's already probably here for parts of the world. And I just realized over and over again that the lesson itself is in the sacrifice of 3 weeks to shredded, just a little bit, just being slightly hungry and performing at in the optimum zone because you're slightly hungry. You're not starving. You're not you don't have a full belly, but you're just slightly hungry. So, uh, what are you slightly hungry for? Let me know. And by the way, come hang out with me on Twitch if you want to. Just come hang out. I talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I do a just chatting stream in the morning where I do a hodgepodge of stuff. Everything from showing you behind the scenes of how I do content marketing, making videos. I talk all the time about MMA, diet, nutrition, the latest Rainbow Six Siege stuff. I stream Rainbow Six Siege in the afternoons and just have a good time, just hang out and chat. So, why Twitch, you might be asking? It's like, well, I got tired of Tiger King memes and seeing like the world is coming to the end type of news coming off of Facebook. So, and the other side of the coin where people don't seem to really think it's a big deal. So, I mean, I just got tired of that argument. So, I'm coming over here to Twitch. I'm battling a different kind of troll. Just banned somebody right before I recorded this. So, we're doing good. So, if you want to come in and join in on the fun, just go to twitch.tv/coach_werewolf. Give me a follow and let's hang out. So, I'll see you guys there. Bye, everyone.